Get him gone. 6 reasons Man United must sack Ruben Amorim amid catastrophic reign riddled with errors and mismanagement. Ruben Amorim claimed after Manchester United's defeat at Brentford that he is never worried about losing his job, and that is just as well, because, sooner or later, he is going to get his marching orders at Old Trafford. The results speak for themselves. His team have lost 17 of their 33 Premier League matches, while winning just 9 times. If you want to find a United coach with a worse win percentage in the league, you have to go back to before the Second World War. While United's fan base is far more supportive of coaches than at most other top clubs, patience with Amorim is running thin. After the limp surrender at the GTEC Stadium, social media was awash with calls for the Portuguese to be sacked. The pundit class were also baffled as to how the Portuguese could continue to struggle on with results as bad as they are. You look at it, and he only has a win percentage of 1% more than Graham Potter, who has been sacked. How is he still in the job? Asked Martin Keown on the BBC. We can talk about the owners backing him, but ultimately it's just not working, said Micah Richards. I don't see where Manchester United go with this unless they change manager, added Ashley Williams. They are not the only ones. Goal lays out 6 reasons why United need to end the Amorim experiment right now. 1. He refuses to change. Amorim insists on his 3-4-3 formation, proudly declaring from the start that there is no second way. Even with a full preseason and regular training sessions, his players have failed to adapt, and poor results continue to pile up. Rather than adjusting to his squad's strengths, Amorim has made his stubbornness his trademark, famously claiming not even the Pope could change his mind. As defeats mount, he resembles a captain steering straight into an iceberg, leaving United with the stark choice he himself has outlined. If the club want change, they must get rid of him. 2. Alienating top players. Casemiro's suspension against Chelsea left Amorim choosing between Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte, but once again he overlooked the gifted academy product for the less technical Uruguayan. Amorim has never trusted Mainoo, whose style doesn't fit his rigid system, prompting the youngster to request a loan move late in the window. The fact he asked for a loan rather than a permanent exit shows he still wants a future at United, just not under Amorim. Mainoo isn't alone. Rashford was forced out, Garnacho followed, and even Højlund was discarded despite his willingness to fight for a place. Unless United acts soon, Amorim risks driving out even more talent. 3. No momentum. Ahead of the Brentford game, Amorim stressed all week that United needed to build momentum after beating Chelsea, with a chance to secure back-to-back league wins for the first time since May 2024. He admitted it was the main theme in training. We need the sense of urgency to win, no matter what. Yet the message failed to land. United's inability to string together consecutive victories in over a year highlights their deeper problems. Without momentum, there is little chance of climbing the table, securing European football, or achieving lasting improvement. 4. Basic mistakes. Amorim insists his system is not the issue, and at times he has a point. Goalkeeper errors from Onana and Bayender, Maguire's mistakes against Brentford and City, or Bruno's missed penalties cannot be pinned on tactics. Still, these costly lapses keep happening under his watch, and he must take responsibility. It's frustrating, Amorim admitted. We worked on these situations during the week, but in games the players are not the same. That's the pressure of the club. Pressure may explain some of it, but it is the manager's role to help players cope. On that front, Amorim is falling short. 5. The results speak for themselves. The Brentford defeat left Amorim with just 34 points from 33 league games, an average of 1.03 per match. Over a full season, that projects to 39 points, the same total that saw Blackpool and Birmingham relegated in 2010-11, the year United won the title. While today's survival threshold is lower and relegation may be unlikely, United would still spend most of the season looking over their shoulder. Fans once sang Amorim would turn the Reds around, but City supporters now taunt that the Reds are going down. Unless United acts soon and replace their manager, that mockery could edge closer to the truth. 6. Negative comments, negative atmosphere. Amorim may not be the first manager to struggle at United, but he stands out as one of the most negative in the post-Ferguson era, not tactically, but in rhetoric. After an optimistic first press conference, it took only weeks for him to label his players the worst team in the history of Manchester United following a loss to Brighton. Since then, his criticism has consistently chipped away at morale rather than inspiring improvement. Though his press conferences are engaging, his words have weighed his squad down. After the shock Grimsby defeat, he hinted at walking away, saying, "Something has to change, and you cannot change 22 players," and admitted he even considered leaving in February. More recently, however, he has insisted he won't resign. That leaves United with one path if they want to restore belief and positivity. They must remove him themselves. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Real Madrid return for Ibrahima Konate after facing William Saliba rejection as Liverpool contract nears expiry. After primary target William Saliba agreed a new long-term deal at Arsenal, Real have reportedly turned their attention back to Ibrahima Konate. The Liverpool defender's contract expires next summer, fitting Madrid's strategy of focusing on free transfers, but there is said to be internal debate at the club over the move. Madrid looks to fix defense. Madrid are monitoring Konate with a view to signing him as a free agent in 2026, according to a report from ESPN. The Spanish Giants have reportedly turned their attention to the France international after their primary defensive target, Saliba, agreed a new long-term contract with Arsenal. Madrid's defensive plans hit by Saliba extension. Saliba, 24, was reportedly Madrid's top target to bolster their defense next summer, with the club having planned to make a move for him in the summer of 2026, when he would have had just 1 year remaining on his previous contract. Saliba's decision to sign a 5-year extension has forced Madrid to pivot to other options on their shortlist. However, Konate emerges as free transfer option. With his contract at Anfield set to expire in June 2026, Konate has emerged as the ideal alternative. A move for the 26-year-old would align with the club's recent successful strategy of acquiring high-profile players on free transfers, which has previously seen them land Trent Alexander-Arnold, Antonio Rudiger, and David Alaba. However, the report suggests there is not unanimous agreement within the Madrid hierarchy over a move for Konate, with some internal debate taking place over the Liverpool defender's suitability. Real Madrid's search for a top-tier central defender is part of their forward planning for 2026, as the club anticipates that Alaba will depart when his contract expires, while Rudiger has also been linked with a lucrative move to Saudi Arabia. The leadership at Valdebebas is keen to avoid being caught short at the back, especially given the physical demands of competing on multiple fronts. While Konate is now being seriously considered, Leipzig's Castello Lakiba is another name on Madrid's list of targets. Both players are admired not only for their defensive solidity, but also for their ability to play out from the back, an increasingly important requirement in Carlo Ancelotti's system. The club will continue to monitor Konate's situation at Liverpool closely, aware that prizing him away from Anfield could be complicated. At the same time, Lakiba's profile as a young and still developing defender makes him an attractive option for Madrid's long-term project. The current defensive group, which includes Eder Militao and recent signing Dean Huijsen, provides stability, but there is an acceptance within the board that reinforcements are needed to maintain depth and quality. Injuries to key defenders in recent seasons have exposed Madrid's vulnerability, reinforcing the importance of securing a reliable successor before Alaba and Rudiger move on. Ultimately, the club's recruitment strategy will balance proven experience with youthful potential, as Madrid seek to ensure their backline remains as formidable as their attacking options in the years ahead. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Horror stats pile pressure on Ruben Amorim at Man United despite Benjamin Sesko emulating Cristiano Ronaldo. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United nightmare is showing no signs of stopping with a 3-1 defeat to Brentford, compounding their misery further. The Red Devils came into the game on Saturday following a win over Chelsea, but they've come crashing back down to earth again. Igor Thiago scored 2 before Benjamin Sesko got 1 back before the break to help his side avoid embarrassment. However, Sesko's strike only ended up delaying that embarrassment until later in the game when Matthias Jensen wrapped things up. The defeat for Man United meant they dropped down to 13th in the Premier League table with 7 points from 5 games. But the result was not only the first thing Amorim needed to worry about, with some horror stats emerging post-match. Since his first match in charge of United in November 2024, No team has conceded the first goal in more Premier League games. They have shockingly let in 21 opening goals in that time. On top of that, Man United still have not managed to win consecutive Premier League games under Amorim. The Portuguese boss has taken charge of 33 games in the top flight and has never won 2 in a row. In total, he's only won 9 of the 33 matches, losing 17 and drawing 7, with that record severely concerning. And it doesn't stop there for Amorim, who, with a loss in his 200th game as a manager, has now lost 3 more of his 33 Premier League clashes, 17, than he did in 167 Primera Liga matches, 14. Finding a positive, Amorim may be more focused on the doubts over his future as Man United manager, considering those worrying stats. However, he may find one positive in Sesko getting his first goal for the club after his £74 million summer move. The striker was more involved in the action after a slow start at the club, having 6 shots with 4 on target in total. All 4 of those shots on target came in the first half, and that actually saw him emulate an icon. Sesko became the first Man United player to have 4 or more shots on target in the first half of a league match since Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo managed the feat against West Ham in 2021, so that is a promising sign for the 22-year-old. What has Amorim said? Under pressure, Man United boss Amorim said to TNT Sports post-match, "Of course, we want to win. We didn't control the game. We played the game of Brentford. First balls, second balls, set pieces. All the crucial moments were against us. Tough to lose again, but we need to think about the next one." He added, "The first goal was a long ball. We worked on that in the week and on set pieces. We knew the long balls and one touch they had the opportunity. We need to do better. We didn't play our game. We only had control for some moments. But it was more or less all the same. We need to play our games, not the opponents. But they were stronger on that." On the pressure, Amorim continued, "It is always the same to lose at this club. It hurts a lot. We need to think about the next one." Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Marc Guéhi's feelings on failed Liverpool move confirmed by Crystal Palace boss. Marc Guéhi was set to join Liverpool on transfer deadline day, but Crystal Palace pulled the plug at the last minute after failing to find a replacement for the central defender. Oliver Glasner has no doubts about Marc Guéhi's frame of mind ahead of his potentially uncomfortable Premier League encounter with Liverpool on Saturday. Indeed, he's baffled as to why the England international's professionalism has been so widely commended following the transfer saga, given the centre-half simply fulfilled his contractual obligations. Arne Slot's Reds agreed a deadline day arrangement with Crystal Palace, only for Eagles chairman Steve Parish to abandon the deal at the final moment. During his Friday press conference, Glasner remarked, "I have no concerns at all. I'm completely convinced, and I mention this quite often, as long as Marc is playing for Crystal Palace, he will be playing with 100%. This is what I expect tomorrow. I'm really convinced that he will show this again. He's an amazing player. He's in amazing shape. So I expect a great game from him. Of course, I had a conversation with Marc, but I think you will expect it to maybe have been more or longer. It was really a very short conversation because it was easy. We talked before, we talked at the end of last season, we talked in off-season, we talked in the pre-season, and of course, we talked after the transfer window closed, but it was a 5-minute conversation. On the other side, I'm really wondering why it's so outstanding if you stick to an agreement. It also shows you maybe what kind of times we are living in. If you sign a contract, let's say the normal thing is you stick to your contract. So we are praised for doing what we have to do. I think it's more the opposite. We should blame people who don't stick to their agreement." Of course, he was a little bit disappointed at the beginning, but he said, "No, it's fine. I like being here. I like the team. I like the staff. I like Crystal Palace. I'm a South London boy. It's all good. I will give my best." And this is exactly what I knew would happen. With the suspended Hugo Ekitike unavailable, England international Guéhi will be charged with stopping Alexander Isak, who pushed for an exit from Newcastle to secure his dream move to Merseyside at Selhurst Park. Should Palace avoid losing to Liverpool, the London team will extend its unbeaten streak to 18 matches across all competitions, equaling a club record set in 1969. Speaking before facing the only other undefeated team in the Premier League, Glasner said, "I don't care about it, the opportunity to match the club record. Last year, we had the worst start in Premier League history, and at the end, we had a points record. I don't care about records. But of course, it's always better having positive records than going the other way. Ismail Assar, boasting 4 goals and 7 appearances against Liverpool, including a goal and assist in the Community Shield victory, is match fit for Palace. Yeremy Pino, Adam Wharton, and Eddie Nketiah are also ready to play, while Caleb Quora, Chadi Riyad, and Sheikh Dukor continue their recovery on the sidelines. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.